Happy Wednesday, December the 15th. Welcome back to another Broadway Media webinar. I am Melissa, the Community Manager.
Hi, everybody. I'm Erin, your Customer Accounts Manager.
Hello, everyone. I am Karen, the Sales Development Representative.
Now, if you've joined us for our previous webinars, you've learned all about scenic projections and how digital scenery can make your stage come alive. You also know about Broadway Media's easy-to-use software stage player. And don't worry, if you haven't seen the previous webinars, they are available on our YouTube channel under the webinar playlist. You can go back and watch them at any time.
Love it. Okay, so let's jump right in. I have purchased the license for my upcoming show. I have Stage Player downloaded. But the main question is, how do I put the image on my stage?
Well, not to worry, Karen. You've come to the right place. Today, we are going to be discussing everything Hardware 101.
Woo!
We promise it's not as complicated as it seems. We just like a good excuse to show off one of our scenic projections from Ghost the Musical.
I love it. Today, we are joined by our special guests on location in California. We have Laura, our Broadway Media Success Manager, and Jeff, the Warehouse Supervisor.
Hey guys, we are so excited to show you around, show you some of the hardware. First things first, though, I think we should go over some terminology. Guys, do you want to explain some of the terms we're going to be throwing out here?
Yeah, we'd be happy to. In fact, we're ready for that hardware terminology. All right, so to start us off, let's talk about the different ways that you can project. First, there is rear projection, and that is the act of projecting into the back of a surface. This requires a lot of space behind the surface as a short throw projector and a slightly translucent material to project on. Then we have front projection, a projection technique where the image is projected from the front of the projection surface. And this can be done in one of two ways. It can be a long throw from the rear of the theater or a short throw mounted from the grid or the light bar. All right, Karen, do you think you could tell us some additional terms here?
Of course. All right, let's jump right in with some other great terminology for you. First off, we have lumens, which is the unit of measure for brightness. Then we have throw ratio, which is the number that represents the distance from the lens over the measurement of the projected image width. For example, throw ratios follow the following format: a 0.24 to 1, 1 to 1, 1.3 to 1. And then next we have an aspect ratio, which is the shape of an image, usually represented by two numbers, the example being 4 to 3, where the first number represents the width and the second number represents the height. The width of the size will adjust based on the distance from the projector to the surface, but the height will auto-scale based on the aspect ratio. Broadway Media's content comes in a 16 to 9, which meaning for every 16 feet units wide, the image will scale to 9 units high. Fun little math for you. And then we have keystone corner adjust effect, which is the projection distortion where one side appears larger than the other. This occurs when the projector is hung and the lights project down at an angle. Most projectors do have a built-in feature to combat this distortion. Take it away, my girl, Erin, with some more terminology.
All right, finally, we have our accessories. Nothing is complete without accessories. First off is going to be your mount. It's a piece of hardware that is used to attach your equipment to a light bar on the ceiling of your theater or venue. Next is going to be different cables to connect your computer, your playback device to your projector. For most groups, that's going to be a high definition multimedia interface cable or an HDMI. This is an audiovisual digital transmission connector system for uncompressed video. It's very common connector for projectors and a lot of other types of video content as well. Now, if you are going to be having your playback device, your computer, further away from your projector, for an HDMI, when it's stretched over too far of a distance, it'll still transmit the data, but you could see some latency, which is just a fancy word for a delay. So basically, your operator can press the next button to go to your next projection image, but that won't happen on your stage until maybe 3 to 10 seconds later. It's not ideal for live performances. So if you're running cable over 50 feet, we would recommend going with a Cat6 cable instead. This is basically just an Ethernet cable, but in this case, it's providing a speedy and reliable connection over a long distance.
Great, thank you. All right, so let's head over to the warehouse and see some show and tell. Take it away, Laura, Jeff.
So I think a lot of people get overwhelmed when they're thinking about projection technology, but it really boils down to needing three things. You need a computer of some type. A laptop is a really versatile and easy option and is really has enough capability to run projections. You need some kind of cabling. We typically suggest the HDMI, as Aaron shared. If you need to run distances over 50 feet, we suggest upgrading to that Cat6 cabling, because that's going to mitigate any kind of issues you're going to experience with latency or an unreliable connection. Those are the first two things, probably the easiest. The harder one, of course, is a projector. Trying to figure out what kind of projection technology you need, what kind of lumens, the throw ratio. Those are all very overwhelming terms to some people. At Broadway Media, we really love coming as your production partner and figuring out the exact specs of your space and making an advisement based on that. But I'll show you two of our more affordable options. This is our stage projector economy. It's a 5200 lumens projector with a 0.24 throw, which means that when you're mounting this and you're mounting it about 6 feet away from your surface, you're getting about 30 feet of width for your projected image, a really stellar way to avoid shadows, and also enough brightness where if you work in conjunction with your stage lighting, you can get a pretty bright image. And this is our most affordable option. This, of course, when it's rented from us, comes with the power cable and also with the remote. But if you need to take it up a notch, if you need a brighter image because you have lots of people on stage and need to do lots of bright stage lighting, or you want that wider image, I would suggest going up to our basic. So our stage projector basic has a detachable lens. This is giving you the option to get this image really wide from pretty close again. This has a 0.35 throw, so you do need to place it a little bit further back than our economy, but it's much brighter. This is 7,000 lumens. So this is a workhorse that can go up to about 45 feet is our recommendation. And this is going to give you a really bright image. So these are our two most economical models. They are obviously little beasts. They are much bigger than a lot of people expect. So when we ship these to you, we ship them in completely secure crates. And they come in and they're ready to unbox and mount in your space. Speaking of mounts, my suggestion to avoid shadows completely, to avoid having to build any kind of ground row set piece, is to actually hang your projector above your actors on stage. So 6 feet away from your surface, you can use something like our common mount. Our common mount has C-clamps, and these can be secured right over a batten or a pipe. And you hang it up here, attach the projector upside down to the bottom, and this actually hangs over your actors' heads so that they're not casting any types of shadows. That's how you're going to avoid shadows when you are front projecting, which is our recommendation because typically it's a much easier thing to do. So just to go over this one more time, of course, you need a projector. You need some type of cabling to talk to your computer, and that's all you really need. I showed you a couple of things here. Again, talking to our sales team is the best way to get a great recommendation for your space. But let me throw it back over to Aaron, who's going to talk to you a little bit more about how to prioritize these specs in your space.
All right. Well, so projection technology, it's come a long way in the past decade. What was completely unaffordable even 3 years ago is now standard and cost-effective for most setups. With that being said, you need to evaluate your space with these 4 things in mind: front or rear projection, the brightness you want to achieve, how large you want the projection to be, and how much you can afford. Typically, we suggest prioritizing either brightness, size, or budget when it comes to picking a projector. There is a delicate balance between these three elements, so it's important for you to decide what's the most critical for you.
All right, thanks, Erin. So now let's jump into that first thing, which is deciding front versus rear projection, which I know Melissa had also dived into a little bit in our terminology. So if you're going to, what we say is front short throw is our recommendation. Projectors can be rigged, like Laura said, on stage above the actors to prevent shadows. Now, if you want to go completely shadow free, then you can do rear projection, but that does require 8 to 15 feet of unusable space behind the surface. And then there's also a front long throw projector, which is rigged at the back of the house, which does cause shadows on actors, but it is also doable.
All right, so when we're talking about brightness, a projector is really just a powerful and smart light source, but think of it as just another lighting instrument. We say this because it has to be balanced with the rest of your lighting equipment, where you hang or place your projector in relationship to what it's lighting, which would be your surface, and also how much lighting exists around your surface. It can either diminish or provide a greater impact for the image. If you think about your other lighting instruments, the further away the instrument is from what you're lighting, the dimmer the light will appear, but the wider the wash of light will be. The same is true for a projector. If you put it close to the surface, it'll appear really bright, but your image will be smaller. Lumens, as we mentioned before, are going to be your unit of measurement for brightness. So the 5 different units that we have available for rental here at Broadway Media, that economy model that Laura showed us is 5,200 lumens. That basic that she showed is 7,000, and it goes all the way up to 15,000 lumens for the premium model.
Okay, and then of course we always talk about size. Size is determined by the two things, the distance away from the surface and the throw ratio of the lens. So like we talked about, the throw ratio is that number that represents the distance from the lens over the measurement that is projected of the image width. Typical throw ratios follow the following format: a 0.24 to 1, a 1 to 1, or a 1.3 to 1. Distance from the surface does equal the throw ratio times the desired width. So fun little math for you to do.
So as Laura and Erin were just saying, we do have several different units available. We do have our economy, the basic, the standard, the plus, and the premium. As of December 15th, 2021, which is today, rental costs through Broadway Media do range from $795 all the way up to about $3,495 per week. And then purchasing a quality projector is, of course, an option as well. But that is a bit of a hefty price tag there, starting at $29,099, running all the way up to $49,000. So, but we do have a great Cyber Sale Week promotion that's still going on right now. So this actually launched on Black Friday. You can get $500 off a rental of a basic, standard, plus, or premium model. Or you can rent an economy model for 2 weeks and get the 3rd week free. And that's a $795 value. So if you are using digital scenery in an upcoming production, get the right projector for the job. It's simpler than ever. Our selection of affordable and effective projectors take the guesswork out of the projector rental process, and it delivers you high quality hardware that is made for the stage. And as part of our cyber sale, we're offering those 2 exciting projector rental discounts. Just those orders do have to be submitted, paid, and approved by December 31st, 2021. And the shows that you're performing, it has to be performed during the window of January 17th of 2022 and no later than June 30th of 2022. If you're looking to partake in our doorbuster deal here, visit broadway.media/cybersale and you'll be able to claim these offers. So we know that was a lot of content to go over. If you have any questions at all, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. Alternatively, you can send us an email, We've got our sales at broadwaymedia.com. We'd be happy to answer any of your questions.
All right, so we hope you all enjoyed learning a bit more about hardware. Our next webinar is going to be on January 12th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and we're going to be focusing on staging some magical moments. Effects that used to require things like flying, water, quick transitions, or even just pure magic are now available and achievable through easy projections. I hope you'll join us on the 12th as we go over some of our favorite magical moments.
All right. It is that time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year. So I just want to make sure and tell everyone that I hope you have a happy holidays, no matter what holiday you spend. Hope you get to spend it with family, friends, and everyone you love. And everyone here from Broadway Media also wishes you a happy holidays. Right, guys?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Have a happy new year. We'll see you next month. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.